Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of ECH Debate. This week, RJ and I are debating what the Seattle Kraken's mascot should be. Now, couple ground rules first. Seattle has said many times over that they do not want to reveal the Kraken. They don't want to show us the Kraken. They don't want the Kraken to ever be seen. It is an omnipresent thing that you cannot ever view for some reason. And so that was rule number one for us as we each came up with three mascot ideas. So that was rule number one. The second thing is neither one of us are artists. We both have one sibling, and in both cases, that one sibling took all of the artistic talent. So we did what we could only do, which is make these in Microsoft Paint. So we have some interesting things here. We're kind of going most like silly and unrealistic to our most realistic options as we go through. And let's just get started. So RJ, here's my first mascot idea. This is Newsy the fish.
Okay.
And this is, I wanted to play off of something that is iconically Seattle. And one of the places I always think about when it comes to Seattle, and I know, it's a big tourist spot for people is Pike's Place. And what's the thing that they're known for there? It's for throwing those fish around, right? So why not incorporate that into the mascot here? So here we have Newsy. I didn't want just like a blank naked fish, so went ahead and wrapped him up into some newspaper, and hence where his name comes from. Now I know that there might be some issues with this, mainly how the mascot would walk. That's one
Right, I
issue.
don't see,
But
an obvious way to walk it. There's some fins here. I guess you could put feet there.
yeah,
Um,
but the bottom
oh, how,
line is
how does the person see? Is it through that opening in the fish's mouth, or
no, it'll be through the cold dead fish eye. They get they,
okay, got it.
now the head will
So
be
I was going to ask, how obviously dead is this fish?
it's obviously dead, which might be an issue. That's where I was going. That might be one of the
The children are
issues.
going to love that.
Right. But the bottom line is I don't need to know how it'll walk because that's on whoever actually makes the costume to figure
They pay
out.
people
I'm
good money to figure that stuff out.
exactly. I'm the idea man here. So there's Newsy the fish. Um like I said, it's just playing off of something that's iconically Seattle in an absolutely ridiculous way that I don't see the Kraken ever coming close to using. But I felt it needed to exist, and now it can haunt all of your dreams.
I applaud you thinking outside the box on that one.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely more outside the box than my first idea. And I took it pretty much from their alternate logo. And I would like to introduce you all to Anchorman.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
it's a man dressed up as a giant anchor. And you can see my artistic talent here in the rendering. This costume might be a little clunky here. It's kind of wide. You
I was
might have to
gonna
down the aisles
I
sideways.
was gonna say, how does he walk through any doors?
That's the fun. Don't you want to see how he's going to walk through the doors?
I
But
guess.
the part is it works potentially with the roster and allows you to get better use out of your players. If you happen to have a bad contract, an anchor of a contract, should you say, for a player, and you need to healthy scratch them because they're no longer worth their contract, you can have the player be Anchorman. Season 1, Louis Erickson could be Anchorman, and it gives the fans more interaction with the players. It'll be a great way to kind of introduce the fans to the team.
I agree that that's an interesting concept, but I'm going to say no because I don't want it to ever imply that Seattle is going to have an anchor of a contract. We got Ronnie Francis running this thing. We
We'll,
don't
we'll
need
get
no
we'll get
anchor mascot to
round
stick
picks for,
Louis Erickson in.
we'll get 2 first round picks for the privilege. It's fine.
I'm just glad that I wasn't the only one to come out of the gates with just like the most impractical design. Like,
Oh, don't worry. I would never let you down there, Dylan.
I just see this guy walking down the aisles, just smacking the back of people's heads with both sides. Oh, he's so fantastic. All
Oh
right,
man. All
so
right. Who's your next
so
mascot?
for my second mascot, I went a little bit differently, and I may have been cheating, but we didn't establish that we couldn't steal IPs from something else.
What is
So I present to you my Microsoft Paint rendition of Sigmund the Sea Monster. Now, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters was a like children's TV show back in like the 70s, and it was just like this kid who befriends Sigmund the sea monster, and they just do, you know, whatever kids programming did back in the 70s. But recently, in the last couple of years, Amazon brought back Sigmund and the Sea Monsters as Amazon on Amazon Prime, and they've been running things there. So I thought, well, there's maybe a little bit of a connection there. Amazon's already sponsoring the arena, maybe a tie-in. We could really just reboot Sigmund the Sea Monster and have him in. He's vaguely reminiscent of a Kraken, but legally distinct from the Kraken, so it still fits within the boundaries of things here. But you know, it's a proven character that's been proven to you know, kids like it, kids like him. It's all good, and you know, who doesn't want basically a tentacled blob walking around with just seaweed and kelp falling off of it everywhere?
Wow. Okay, I need to search what the actual Sigmund the Sea Monster looks
Yes,
like
I'll throw
to
up a
see how
picture here.
closely we got this.
It's
Um,
it's
I think this one might actually be a sneaky good idea. I mean, credit to you for looking up the intellectual property situation for this mascot. But I kept trying to think of, what can you do that's kind of, Kraken adjacent, that's not an actual Kraken. And even if Sigmund isn't the big, a sea monster kind of thing could work as long as you keep it distinct enough from a Kraken. You'd be like a Kraken's buddy or something.
yeah, it's
No, I actually kind of like this. Is the real one that shade of green?
yes. With the
Okay.
one little triangle tooth sticking out of its mouth.
Oh man.
But you know, the bottom line is, Seattle is not Philadelphia, right? So we don't necessarily need a
Right.
mascot that is a gritty clone just to like capitalize on gritty popularity nonsense, right? And what better than Sigmund, who's this nice passive sea monster, who's kind and would still look ridiculous skating around on the ice because he's a big blob, and you could just have these tentacles flailing around in the wind. It would be so gorgeous.
Okay, I like this one. All right. My next idea. Meet the pirate. So, we never show the Kraken, right? This is rule number one. We never show the Kraken. Well, the pirate is always searching for it. Just like Moby Dick, the Captain Ishmael searching after the great white whale, this pirate is always searching for the Kraken and kind of reminding you of the mythical beast that's right beneath the waves. He's going to be humorous, this like comical pirate. Maybe the reason he doesn't ever find the Kraken is because he's kind of so inept at his job. Kind of a Captain Jack Sparrow type. It could be a fun game for the kids too. You guys, oh, where's the Kraken? Where's the Kraken? And the kids go, there's the Kraken, and they point at the players of the team or something. Lets the kids find out, where's the Kraken. Now this one is tougher to pull off because you need to give him the right personality.
Mm-hmm.
I say, like, he's comical, maybe a bit inept, but you have to really get that down and do it right because there's a lot of ways you can do it wrong.
Yeah, no.
And
you got to go all out. If this guy isn't tripping down every flight of stairs he comes across.
And yeah, so you have to make sure to get that right. And I think there's a reason that there are 0 human mascots in the NHL right now. Like none. In football you have a couple like the 49er and stuff, but like there's 0 human mascots, and that's because it's really hard to do properly and you have to get that personality down exactly right. But if there's any team that I think is well equipped to take that risk and do a good job with it, it's the Kraken.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I think really the only thing you have to worry about is Disney coming after you for just creating a Jack Sparrow clone.
Okay, yeah, you can't ever forget I said that.
It's on tape. It's here forever now. It's on the internet. No.
I look forward to being used as evidence in Disney's copyright infringement lawsuit
Yes.
against the Kraken. This will be good.
No, I think that there's a lot of potential in this. Even if he's not an inept seafaring captain, he could be like the only person who ever, encountered the Kraken and survived, and he could always be telling these. Yeah, he could always be telling these tall tales about it, and that way he can be hyping up the team or something, right? Talking about all the things the Kraken does when it emerges from the depths.
I like that idea.
But yeah, I do think that there is room in the NHL for a human mascot. And for a human mascot that's not completely covered in, stuff and a total caricature, right? Like I think there's room for like an actual person wearing a costume.
Right.
I guess the Golden Knights do with the knight, right?
Right.
Because they have what's his name? Is his name Chance, right?
Chance. Yeah,
yeah,
Chance.
the lizard. But then they also have the knight in the golden armor. And you know what? They've been able to handle that pretty well. So,
definitely.
So I think there is precedent there for it.
And you look at, some of the game experience people that are working for the Kraken came over from the Golden Knights. So maybe they have something like that, in mind.
Yeah. Now.
Maybe my rendering, but.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I'm going to take you to my final design, and I think probably my most realistic design. And it is also a human, but this time it is a caricature of a human covered in felt, like I was just saying you avoided. And here I present to you the Greek god of the oceans, Poseidon.
Wow.
Right? So obviously the Kraken resides in the sea. Seattle's right there on the Sound. You've got all this sea-based stuff, right? Why not the god of the sea is the mascot? And to tie it in further with media properties, because apparently that's all I'm capable of doing is stealing ideas, just like you with your pirate, stealing ideas. And you look at Clash of the Titans, which was really the first time the idea of a Kraken was ever on film, and in that the Kraken is the servant of Poseidon, and he calls upon the Kraken to come out of the water and destroy the city and whatever. So there is some connective tissue already there, but I just think I agreed with you. I thought there needs to kind of be a human-ish mascot in the NHL. I think there's room for it, and I just think it'd be really cool to have this guy be walking around all big and boisterous and playing up the god thing, right? And he's got the trident. There's lots of fun stuff you could do with that. It's always good when the mascots have some sort of prop. So it's good, right. Merchandising opportunity, of course. So that's my final idea there.
I see where you're going with the idea, and I like that. I have a few questions.
Okay.
Is he going to be actually shirtless?
Yeah, but it'll be like felt stuff, so it'll be like
it'll be felt like it's not going to be this,
like
the bare chest,
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be like comically large, but like not impractically large.
Okay. And I got to know what's going on with the hair here.
It's flowing. He's always he's always arriving on the waves, right? With the tide,
right.
And it's majestic and flowing, and his beard would be nice and flowing. I think this is it. I think the Kraken are fools if they don't go with this idea. I'll say that.
Okay, that's a pretty ringing endorsement.
Well, okay, let's see you beat it. What's your final mascot?
All right. My final mascot. Say hello to Seagull. Yes, SEA goal, Seagull. Yes, he's a seagull. He's fun and friendly for the kids. There's lots of them around here. You see the seagulls flying by the water all the time. And, if we're going for a more realistic thing, he's kind of in line with what most NHL teams have done with their mascots.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're almost all animals. So this would kind of be the, safe, inoffensive choice. Maybe not how I drew it exactly, but a fun, friendly animal. That's what NHL teams seem to like for their mascots. And he can wear a Kraken jersey. Like these other mascots, it might be tough for them to have the jersey on. I know teams like that. You can wear the jersey. He's a seagull.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The wearing of the jersey is a big deal, and I do like that here. But we could stick a jersey on Poseidon. That's fine. Maybe he could like rip it off every time he comes out to lead the team or something. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, just rip off a lot of jerseys.
Yes, I like this design a lot because we've seen similar things, right? Like the Seahawks have the Seahawk as their mascot, right? So there's precedent as far as what the mascot costume is capable of, what the character is capable of doing and stuff. So I like it for those aspects. I like it that it does tie in to Seattle and the nature and the animals that we find in Seattle, because ultimately that's what most of the mascots do, is they tie in either the if the team is named after an animal, obviously then it's that animal, but otherwise it tends to be something else, that's related to the geography of the city. These eyes, though.
Okay.
Are they always going to be like lidless, eyebrowless, and just staring like that at me?
Okay, let me look at your because okay, see you hand drew all the eyes. You didn't bother with MS Paint's oval tool.
No, you got a free hand.
That was my mistake. These are like perfect, ovals. They're different sizes. No, the eyes will be the same size, and they'll have a little bit more personality to them.
Well, I was gonna say I kind of like this idea, right? Like you play off like the seagulls in Finding Nemo, right? Here's this total land and world where all these animals are sentient and all this stuff, and basically all except for the seagulls, which can only think about one thing, and that is feeding themselves. So I kind of like the idea that maybe this seagull would be like that. I think the only thing we'd then have to worry about is do the San Diego Gulls have a seagull mascot?
Ooh, that is a good question.
I just thought of that, so I don't mean to like throw that at you like this, but
well, no, I can Google this really fast. Okay, no, but he looks like an eagle or something. He's all, I don't know. I mean,
it doesn't matter. It's a minor league team anyway.
Right, it's a minor league team.
You go. Let us know down in the comments if you know which team the San Diego Gulls are affiliated with, which NHL team. Because that'll help us decide whether or not this is legally distinct enough from them. But yeah, otherwise I think this is. I certainly think the last two of ours are like the only realistic ones we've probably come up with this whole venture. But I like the idea of the seagull, because then you could also do stuff with the Seahawk, right? You have them be buddies. It's his friend who just moved to town, right? Just like the team, create a little story.
Yeah, you need the backstory. Whatever mascot, you need the backstory.
They have to have good backstories.
Yeah. But this whole thing was so fun, just thinking of ideas, right?
Yeah, no, this has been really fun. Please let us know down in the comments if you have ideas. Please feel free to draw ideas. It's and send them to us. You can reach us on Twitter at Emerald City HKY, and it's the same on Instagram, Emerald City HKY. I think it would be great if we had all of you guys kind of submit us some of your drawings. Obviously, it doesn't have to be, good based on what we've done. Just throw something together in MS Paint and send it our way. Give us like a little backstory for them or something. Because I guarantee you there's lots of other good options that RJ and I did not think of. Just knowing us.
We'd love to take a look at what you can come up with, and we'll definitely share it. give us
Yeah.
an idea. We'll share it on our social media for sure. We'd love to see these Kraken mascot ideas.
And the other thing is, I think we should do a poll based on the 6 of our ideas. We'll pick like the 4 actual, semi good ones, and I think we'll do a poll and see what you guys all think is the best option for the Seattle Kraken based on what we came up with, or maybe we'll just put an other, like an anything but these option,
Right.
and give you guys that out. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and also let us know if you want to see us do something fun, like whichever one wins the poll, whichever one of these you think is best, we could have we could submit it to an artist on Fiverr or something, and have them do like a really cool mock-up, so that maybe we can get some sort of fan campaign going, and get the seagull to be the epic new mascot in the NHL. Yes. All right, that's gonna be our one defining legacy. It's the seagull.
Yes.
It's better than no legacy at all. All right, guys, make sure to join us next week for ECH debate, where it may be a debate of something of more substance, but I would argue that this is the most important thing that the Kraken don't have yet, besides players and a roster.
Players, roster, and coach, and all that.
Yeah, but this is what's most important, and you guys all know it. Gritty showed us that.
Yes.
All right, guys.